Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the FPS tutorial series. In today's episode what we're going to do is start off our weapon switching. Now this is by request of AnnoXX2 and I thought it would be a good idea to do it anyways because we might as well as we're getting onto that stage. So for today's tutorial what you're going to need is at least 3 character animations for your pistol. So I've already pre-downloaded myself some here. So I've got a pistol idle, a pistol walk, and a pistol run. So I'm just going to drag and drop them in here. Assign them the skeleton, which is the SWAT skeleton. I'm just going to import those. And then what we're going to do is go into our character anim BP, and we'll just have that set up for later. So for this, what we're going to need to do is to get it working, that is to go into our character, third person character. I probably might just rename this SWAT underscore character just to help identify stuff a bit better. Now, what we've got to do here is slightly complicated. We got to have a key binding that enables us to switch from one weapon slot 1 to weapon slot 2. So I'm just going to put 1 and I'm going to put 2. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So when we press 1 off pressed, we're going to want to execute code that will allow us to switch to our rifle. And when we press 2, we want to execute code that switches to our secondary. So I'm just going to add a variable here and I'm going to, as a boolean, and I'm going to say has, sorry, no, not has, is using rifle, question mark. And another one, which is using, pistol. Now, when we press 1, we want to ask ourselves a couple questions. Are we using a rifle? If that's true, we do nothing. If that's false, then what we want to do is set visibility to our AR4 weapon. So I'm just going to drag that out instead and set visibility. Or we could just set actor hidden in game and probably do that. And then we're saying is using pistol. Actually, hold on, sorry. We can delete that. Sorry guys, my mistake. Actually slot this into here. Just got to delete this. Is using pistol false. There we go. And now what we want to say is set is using pistol to true. And then what we're going to do is we will do the exact same here, but just the inverse. So I'm just going to add a branch, hook that up, ask ourselves, are we using the rifle? If that's false, then we will just set the actor hidden in game. And we will set using the rifle to true. And then set using the pistol to false. Should probably just set using rifle to false as well, just to avoid any future bugs that might come up. So now you might be wondering, well, we haven't actually got a target here, and that's true. We haven't actually got a blueprint or an object that we can call on to hide or do anything with. So for that, what we're going to do is go to weapons, and I'm going to add a pistol. I'm just going to add a new file, call it pistol. Go into our FPS weapons bundle, weapons, meshes, and see if we can find a nice secondary weapon. Alright, so I went on Sketchfab and found a pistol. Credit to Eugene Farashin. Sorry if I butchered that. Thank you for uploading this brilliant model to the site. So I'm going to quickly nab that. I've just pressed download, went to there, moved it into my into my pistol, and I want to go into source. Quickly switch over to Unreal Engine. I'm going to go back to my weapons folder, into pistol. I'm just going to grab this, drag it in here like so, and it's probably going to import as a skeletal mesh. Hopefully this won't be in multiple parts. Okay, it's in multiple parts. I'm sure that is fine. I'm just going to quickly create a blueprint. I'm going to call this default underscore pistol because it's the pistol that you are going to spawn in with. Then I'm going to quickly control grab both of these, go to our blueprint, add component, skeletal mesh, and there we go. It just has multiple assets. which is absolutely fine. I'm going to quickly go and drag in the textures for this. Hopefully it's just, it's a couple, so I'll just drag those in. I guess they will all go onto this. So there we go. Now we have our pistol textured. It looks really, really good. We're going to go back over to our SWAT character. I'm just going to, on begin play, we're going to obviously spawn this, but also we need to add a sequence, not a delay, sorry, a sequence, because we want to do more things than one along that line when we start up our game, which is get the actor of class. Get actor of class. And then we're just going to select our pistol. So now we will have, off the return value, we'll set a variable. So now we have a reference. So default pistol ref, like so. So now when we go down here, we now have a target to set hidden in game. We can just do it like so. So now we have everything here set up. We're going to quickly go back into our blueprints and character animations, character animate BP. Go back into our movement, the state machine, and off idle, what we want to do is drag in pistol idle, pistol walk, and pistol run. Now I'm just going to quickly hook up all of these things to the corresponding opposite kind of animations. So run to pistol run. I'm just going to quickly hook all of these up, and then we will get into the transitionary rules. Right, okay, so now what we're going to have to do is make our transitionary rules. So in here, what we're going to have to do is go to the event graph of your SWAT character. We're going to have to get pistol. So get is using pistol, and we will set this is using pistol. And I'm going to do the exact same for the rifle. Make sure to hook up your nodes to make sure that they work. I'm going to get another thing off here. Is using rifle, and we're going to set a variable or promote it to a variable, and is using rifle. And perfect. So hook that up, and now we can use these in our transitionary rules. So from idle to pistol idle, if we are using the pistol, you want to go to pistol, and if we are not, we want to go back to, if we are using the rifle, we want to go back. And it's basically the same for all of these. Pretty much should be. So it is using rifle. Sorry, yeah, no. If we're going to back to walk, we're going to be using the rifle. And if we want to go to the pistol, we're always going to be using the pistol, because that's the whole reason why we're going to these animations. Right, so now we've set up the transitionary rules for when we want to switch the pistol. We want to actually set up the, make it so that it can flow between each animation depending on how fast the character is moving. So in here, what we're going to want to do is from pistol to idle, exactly the same as we did it in here. Just going to quickly grab this and copy and paste straight into here. So from each one, copy and paste it into the corresponding transitionary rule, and you should have everything working just fine. And here, from pistol run to pistol walk, you want to make sure you add a not, because obviously it's not true. So in that case, we can enter the transition. So there we go. Now we have our animations set up for having the pistol. So I'm going to click play. I'm going to press 2. And there we go. We now have our pistols. But wait, we have no pistol. It's not showing at all. And we're still shooting. So to fix this, what we're going to have to do is go into here. And we probably just want to... Okay, I'm just going to pause the video right here. This is the bit where when I was recording this, I started to freak out a little bit and I forgot how to kind of do this. I'm going to cut to the bit where I got it right, and I'm showing you how I did it. And I'm also just going to quickly show you how I basically stopped the AR4 from firing when we had the pistol. Back on with the video. Alright, so after a little bit of trying and testing and deliberating, I've finally come up with an answer to our problem. So first things first, what I did was go to our sequence and deleted that get all actors thing, completely just deleted that, and instead drew up this line of code. So we're going to still use our default pistol reference thing, so you don't need to delete that, you just need to delete the get all actors. And I used a branch using with the condition of with the boolean is using pistols. So if that's true, we spawn the actor, the default pistol, just normal make transform, and then we plug it in our default pistol reference into there. And then I just copied and pasted this attached actor to component because that was the easiest thing, just for placeholder purposes, and just plugged this into the target and kept everything the same there. So now moving over to our key bindings, I kept everything the same up until this point here. And then I moved the two booleans forward because obviously it will not be valid, the default pistol, if they are behind here. This is what you've got to be aware of, the chronological order of your code to make sure it works and everything's valid, like the problem we were experiencing earlier. So once that's done, I set the actor hidden, the default pistol in this case, and the AR4 weapon in the other. And you can notice something different between these two lines of code. Here we're using an isValid function. Or whatever it is. So what this does, basically it asks if the object reference is actually valid before throwing itself into the code, which eliminates errors and eliminates bugs. Very, very valuable piece of code. And if it's valid, we can set the actor hidden in game. So it waits until this is valid, and then we can just set the actor. So now we end up with something like this. When we press 2, as you can see, the pistol spawns, and when we press 1, we're back. And we press 2, we can't fire the AR4, and we press 1, we're back here. And it works perfectly. So now the last thing what we've got to do is go into our SWAT skeleton, put it in the pistol animation pose. We're just going to quickly hide this if we can. Just remove all attached assets. And we're going to quickly add a new socket. We're going to call this default pistol socket. I'm going to add a preview asset, and that is just going to be this. So now I'm just going to quickly pause the animation because it can make it easier to move our stuff around. Now what you got to do is move it into place so it fits perfectly. I definitely don't think it will fit perfectly for us, but I'll try and put it in the best position possible. I think that itself looks pretty good. So I'm going to save, click on your default pistol socket, press F2 and copy that name. You want that name verbatim, exactly the same, and this is why. Over here in our is using pistol branch, over to the actor, attach actor to component, we are going to remove all of that. So Control A, delete, and Control V to paste it straight back in. So now it has the perfect socket. So now when we press 2, we now have our pistol. It looks kind of funky. I don't know why that is. I'm going to look and see if I can change that, because that does look a bit weird. Okay, there we go. All I needed to do was quickly just rotate it a certain way. I think for some reason it didn't look too great on the screen. So there we go. We now have a better pistol animation that flows all right. The walking side of the animation looks okay, and so does the running. The running obviously makes your pistol go a certain way. That's fine though, because I'm sure it'll be fine. So there we have it, guys. We now have our pistol in the game. Next episode, what I'm most likely gonna do is add aim rotation, so then when we look up, our weapon looks up, and when we look down, our weapon looks down, to avoid this irritating kind of clipping that you can see on my right arm. If you guys did enjoy and want to see more of this FPS tutorial series, don't forget to subscribe and like it and share it with your friends. It might help them, you never know. Thank you as well to the recent support on the channel. I've seen the videos kind of increase in views. Keep the suggestions for videos rolling in. I do enjoy looking at the comments and seeing what I can do next, and I can always just do the one-off tutorial if you guys need help with anything. I hope you guys had a good Christmas and Happy New Year. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.